Okay, well, I worked through this video and, of course, well, not of course, but discovered that there is no correct solution. D is not correct. It's close, but if you did this problem and you got this equation down here, 2y plus x equals -2, in an attempt to solve this, that is correct. Okay, if you rewrote any of these into y equals form, you would have seen that none of them end up working. This D is the closest one, but the y-intercept for D is going to be -1/2, not -1, and so it doesn't work. So sorry about that. Again, if you made those good steps and got one of those results, well done. John C. Wales invested $1,500 in a bank account that earned 4% interest compounded annually. Okay, so this is an interest problem. This is exponential, and it's going to be growth. He's earning money on it, and so I'm going to throw out anything that's going to be decay. And after X years, so which of the following equations models a balance after X years? I don't know how many years, right? But I do know that I want to add the 4%. So I take the 1 plus 4%. Remember, it's 1 plus r raised, we spoke about it to the n for years, but this is simply expressed as x, so that's fine. And so A is the correct result. This would give you a very, very, very large number, and raising anything to the 1500 power, even though it's 1.04, and this is not exponential at all, and so that's not going to work, right? Check your answer and see if it makes sense. I know you're not bankers, but 4% interest, that's not very much, right? If I had $100, I would make $4 the first year, and then I would compound it, okay? So I'd make $4.16 additional the next year. So that amount grows, but you know, you're not going to turn $1,500 into $9 billion in your lifetime. Not at that growth rate. So anyway, the answer was A. Michael started a savings account with $300. After 5 weeks, he had $350. So it goes from $300 to $350 in 5 weeks. And after 10 weeks, he had $400. Okay, so it was plus 50. And it was plus 50. Okay, but this is got a little bit of a twist in it. What's the rate of change of money in his savings account per week? Per week, not per 5 weeks. After 10 weeks, which is another 5 weeks. So this is his growth plus 5 weeks plus 5 more weeks. So it wasn't 15 total, it was after 5 and after 10. So 5 weeks, 5 weeks. Okay? So, rise over run, right? Time is going to be the independent and the growth in savings is dependent. So it's going to be 50 over 5 or $10 per week. C, right? And again, just check, right? Start with $300, right? And add $10 per week for 5 weeks. That's going to be 300 plus 50 or 50. Do it again for the next 5 weeks and you get 400. When Raekwon travels on the highway, he sets his cruise control at 85 miles an hour. I'm going to have to, again, talk to the people writing these questions. There's nowhere in the United States, I think, except maybe Wyoming and New Mexico or Arizona. I don't know, one of those states where you can do that legally, not get arrested. So we're not encouraging that speed. He must live elsewhere. That's the most important part of this question. Well, not really. The function f of x equals 85x represents the distance that Raekwon travels. Okay. in X hours. We know it's hours because his rate was miles per hour. Okay, so what is a reasonable range of this function? So range, domain is X, range is Y. So I'm wondering about how far does he go, right? So you got to read this a little bit carefully. It represents the distance he travels, and I would add in X hours in the writing of this question. Might make it clear, but I think you need, I think that's on purpose, that you need to be able to extract from 85 miles per hour that his rate is 85. We've done lots of distance rate time, and we've done it many times in the past. He goes 155 miles, okay? That's an f of x. That means f of x equals 155. Range, f of x is the y part of the equation, so we want to go up to 155, okay? And we'll start with 1. It says reasonable, right? It doesn't say exact. It says reasonable, right? So, obviously, I hope, whether you're talking about speed or distance, 13,000 isn't going to work, right? Don't get thrown off by the 1 through 85, right? 85 is his speed, and negative, that should be tossed out, right, from the start, okay? That should be tossed out from the start. So the question is, which one of C or B? And again, we're talking about range, the distance, so 155 miles is how far he goes. Okay, so I'm just trying to think what all I've done here. Okay, let's, we're going to do this equation of best fit in a different video, so we're done with this one.